welcome to the Willie Lawson Show here on Spreaker.com. Yeah. What you don't understand, this is for your own good. That's what you don't understand. You don't understand that this is really for your own good. That's why we're doing this. We're doing this for your own good. We're not doing this for our own good because it'd be too freaking hard to do for my own good. This is too humiliating on a daily basis for my own good. This is for your own good. What do you mean? Well, it's for your own good. My name is Willie Lawson. This is the Willie Lawson Show here on Spreaker.com. We are on the Saturday edition. And this is before I go home. Normally, you know what? I've been doing a take home show, but you know what? I went back to the Spreaker.com website and started doing a show from the DJ console, and I'm telling you, I dig it so much. I like it so much, and the show sounds so good. I'm just saying, y'all, this show sounds like $1,000,000. It sounds great. You know what's funny? It sounds every bit as good on my phone, if I use my headphones on my phone or I use my headphones on the computer at home, as it does in my headphones right now. And it sounds really, really good. And some of the tunes, like a tune called Big Brother from the album You Are a Hologram, is just great. Just fantastic. You're going to hear another tune called Groove Town from the album The Juice to Make It Happen. And that's what it's all about. Do I have the juice to make it happen? Do you have the juice to make it happen? Do we together have the juice to make it happen? And what do we need to make happen? We need to make happen the Willie Lawson Show getting to the RNC Radio Row. Do we have together the juice to make it happen? That's what really matters. That's what the deal is. That's what really matters. Do we have the juice to make it happen? I certainly hope so. We are $400 away from our goal. We got a couple of gifts over the past 3 days, and that brought us from 5 to 4. Now we're stuck on 4. We didn't get we made no movement yesterday at all. I'd spoken to somebody yesterday, and I hoped that we would have made a little bit of movement, but we didn't make any movement. So we're hoping to make some more movement today on that goal. All you have to do is go to the WillieLawsonShow.com website and click the donate button at the top of the page. We need 16 people at $25. That's it. 16 people at $25 to make it happen. Because we need, you know what, and maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think so. I think we need an independent conservative voice at the Republican National Convention. I really do. I think that it's important to have a conservative voice there. You'll say, well, the Republicans, they're naturally conservative. No, that's not true. You know, I used to think that too. I really did. I used to think, oh, Republicans, conservatives, the same thing. No, it's not. It isn't, and that's okay. I'm at the point where it is what it is. I am not one of the people who will pine away for something that isn't. I'm all about, is it what it is? This is what it is. Whatever it is, that's what it is. I am not the least bit concerned with, I wish it were something other than it is. I'm not. Not at all. Not at all. I'm perfectly happy with whatever it is, you know? So I am not trying for it to be different. I don't have time for that. You just, you know what, I'm the guy, you tell me what the situation is. You just tell me what the situation is, and I'll deal with it. We'll make it work. We'll make it work. That's all there is to it. You know, that's all there is to it. We will make it work. You know, my deal is, if it doesn't fit, force it. That's it. If it doesn't work, force it. It doesn't fit, force it. You know. So I'm not the guy who's saying, "Oh man, the Republican Party, oh man, they're a bunch of rhinos now, man. They're not the Republican." Yeah, okay. Yeah, and where's that leave me? Where's that leave me in what we have to get done in this country? That leaves me saying, okay, so maybe I can't use, what are you going to use the Democrat Party as a vehicle? What, really? Going to use the Democrat Party as a vehicle? How? How are you going to use the Democrat Party as a vehicle? What you're gonna? Oh, we'll go independent. Really? You can use it. I mean, you're gonna use your independence as a how? You have enough money for that? I mean, that's the deal. Do you have enough money for that? Are you going to have enough money for TV commercials? Are you going to have enough money for radio? Are you going to have enough money for materials to pass out door to door, hand to hand? I mean, come on now, give me a plan. Give me a plan on how you can make this happen. Okay, so here's the deal. You're going to create. We're going to create other entities. Freedom Works, Americans for Prosperity, American Majority, and then support them. Well, you have to support them with what? That's right, money. So how are you going to get past the mainstream media? Because and I'm going somewhere with this. Trust me, I hear that about the mainstream media. Oh man, I don't know why CBS doesn't just report the damn news anymore. What I mean, when are they going to get back to that? Let me help you. Never. They're never going to get back to that because frankly, it was never that to start with. They're never going to get back to it, ever. They're always going. I mean, they have come out of their leftist closet, and that's where they are, and that's where they're going to be. Period. End of story. Let me help you. End of story. That's where they're going to be forever. They're never coming back to where you thought they were, because I'm here to say that I don't believe they were ever there. Frankly. I don't believe they were ever really where you think they were. I don't think they were there. Ever. Ever. So, you know what? Here's the deal. Here's the real deal. Here's how it's really going. I'm serious. Here's how it's really going. It's going that we're going to have to do exactly what Andrew Breitbart suggested in the interview that I did with him. He's going to say, you know what? Either we're going to have to buy CNN, conservatives will have to buy it, or create their own. And there's a whole bunch of people out here in independent conservative media that have decided, you know what? We can't afford to buy CNN, but we doggone sure can get a Spreaker show. You know what? We sure can get a Blog Talk Radio show or a talk show. We can sure do a show on Ustream TV. We can get information out there. You know what? And I'm telling you, this is how I know I'm right. Because I've thought about this crap before. This is how I know I'm right. We were out here on the internet years ago. There was conservatives out here doing it every day on the internet, years and years and years and years ago. And just recently, some of the mainstream folks, like and I ain't spewing no hate at this person. Glenn Beck decides that he's going to get off regular cable TV and start up GBTV. Well, PJTV was already out there. I'm not really quite sure why he didn't really hop on with them. And he didn't have to, but hop on with them and help them at what they were doing as opposed to doing what he's doing. And yeah, they've got a lot of subscribers on GBTV, but PJTV, who was already out there, could have damn sure used his help. And I ain't got no hate, but I'm just saying, ain't no hate really. Do whatever you need to do. Do whatever you want to do. Do it however you have to do it. But you know what? PJTV sure could have used that influx of capital. That Glenn Beck spent on a new studio, that Glenn Beck spent on doing a whole bunch of stuff. They could have really, really used the help, but they didn't get it. You know what? And now you get Kane TV out there. Same deal, building new stuff when there was already stuff in place. And you have a lot of these shows. I mean, and now they're coming to the radio part of the internet as well. And there have been people out here like me, Dave Zuplik, Jimmy Z. A lot of folks that you listen to on a daily basis here on Spreaker.com and in other venues that sure could have used an influx with capital when GBTV and Kane TV and these other folks showed up and built their own thing. Built their own thing for millions of dollars. Well, shows like mine, we're asking for $400 today. $400. 16 people at $25 a piece. 25 people at $16 a piece. So I'm saying? We're asking for $400, and it's like we're asking for the world. It's like we're begging people for the world. While these other folks, $400, is nothing. To GBTV, $400 is nothing. To Kane TV, $400 is nothing. Forget the major media folks out there on Fox News or on MSNBC or CBS or NBC or ABC. $400 is nothing. They spend more than think about it. Think about the Today Show spends more than $400 on bagels every day in New York City. They spend more than $400 on bagels, which I'm sure they throw most of those out or people take them home. And now what $400 does there, as opposed to what $400 does on the Willie Lawson Show, helping us get to Radio Row, being a conservative voice in that place, an independent conservative voice in that place. It's a little. And I'm be honest with you, on Saturday it's a little frustrating, but you know what? I never quit. We never quit. This is a deal. We never quit. Some people say y'all ain't smart enough to quit. And that may indeed be true. We may not be bright enough to quit. We're just not smart enough to go, we give up. You win. But the idea is that, you know what? I think it's time for the rest of us. We saw on Wednesday what regular people could do. We saw on Wednesday what regular folks can do. Just regular folks, what they could do. That's it. That regular folks can show up and say, hey, listen, we matter and we have a voice. We have a voice. That's who you saw. That's what you saw on Wednesday. You didn't see Tea Party groups and you know what? It wasn't any organized thing. We're gonna get on. We're gonna march down there. No, it was people. It was regular folks who said, "What? Okay, let's go down there and support. Let's go down there and support Dan Caffey. We're gonna go down there and support Dan Caffey." That's what you saw, and that's all you saw. And they apparently, we together, regular folks, just went down there, and I think we gave Chick-fil-A their best day ever. Their best day ever. I think the numbers are something. I think the numbers are something like $100 million. $100 million in a day. That's my point. My point is $100 million a day. In a day. Now I would gladly, would take $100 million in donations. I gladly. If you want to go to the WillLawsonShow.com website, click the donate button, and start pouring in millions of dollars, I'm good with it. No doubt, I'm good with it. I'm gonna tell you, with that money, I gotta hire a tax attorney, like post haste, if that starts happening. But I'm happy to deal with it. I'm happy to expand, and I'm happy to start doing this full time, and I'm happy to go into places that you can't go and ask the questions that you want asked, and you know what? I'm happy to go. I'm happy to do whatever you would have me do. But today we need $400. Today we need $400. That is simply 16 people at $25 a piece. That's what we need to make this all happen and be fine and be good. That's it. So if you're interested, please just go to www.willieLawsonshow.com. That's WillieLawsonshow.com. And Willie is spelled with I-E, not Y. Let me help you. Nobody black spells their name with a Y. Little cultural thing for you. Little cultural thing. So there you go. So I'm going to give you a few minutes a few seconds to go out to the WillieLawsonShow.com website and click the donate button at the top of the page, and we'll be back right after this. All right, we are back with more of the Willie Lawson Show here on Spreaker.com. again, we appreciate you being here. I mean, really, thank you again. Um, Again, thank you again for letting me come into your Saturday afternoon or whenever you listen, and especially to talk about what we're going to talk about. I mean, to talk about what we do on the WillAustinShow.com website. If you go to the WillAustinShow.com website, you're going to see at the bottom of the website the trailer for Runaway Slave. Now, let me tell you. Now, a lot of you just heard about Runaway Slave. That trailer has been has been there on the website for months. After our interview with C.L. Bryant. That's been there for months. So yeah, are we caught up with what's going on? You bet your sweet bib we're caught up. We're caught up on the issues. We're caught up on the things that matter to you. As a matter of fact, somebody asked me today about Jim Greer. Jim Greer used to be the chair of RPOF in Florida, and that's the Republican Party of Florida. And now he's come out with some statement, some unsubstantiated statement that the Republicans and some of the Republican leaders were actively talking about voter suppression, suppressing the black vote in the state of Florida. Here's the deal. Jim Greer will do anything at this point to save his own ass. Jim Greer is an old, bitter person who is ready to do whatever he can to save his own ass. That's where Jim Greer is. So my deal is anything that comes out of Jim Greer's mouth might as well be coming out of his ass. Okay, for him, it's exactly the same. And unless he's ready to prove those statements and start naming names, real names, and times and places and meetings and get corroborating evidence and that kind of stuff, then anything that Jim Greer says that comes out of his mouth might as well be coming out of his ass, because that's where Jim Greer is. There were any number of times where people tried to get, Republican leaders tried to get him to step down, and he wouldn't because his ego's too big and his brain is too small. And this is Jim Greer's way of trying to get back at them. That Jim Greer would rather now this is the kind of individual Jim Greer is. Jim Greer would rather destroy the country by getting Barack Obama elected. Okay, you know what? If he could get back at some people in the Republican Party of Florida, that's what a small, horrible little worm that Jim Greer is. There you go. Speaking of small, horrible little worms, we're talking about somebody like Charlie Crist. Now, Charlie Crist used to be the Republican Party governor of the state of Florida. Now he is endorsing. He is endorsing Bill Nelson. Bill Nelson is like the king. My son put it the right way: the king Democrat of the state of Florida. Why? Because Crist is pissed at the Republican Party. Now, and why would you say that? Because for years and years and years, he endorsed the whole clan. I use that word kind of begrudgingly. The whole group of the Macs, Connie Mac Jr., Connie Mac the third, Connie Mac the fourth, and been endorsing them for years, and they endorsing him for years. So now they're in this weird position where, you know what, he's pissed at the Republicans, so he's found a way to get back at them, and this is how he's doing it. This is how he wants to do it. I mean, it's awful, it's terrible, but that's what's really going on. If you're wondering what's going on in the state of Florida, if you're wondering what's going on with these people, this is what's going on with these folks. This is the deal, and it is as petty as it seems. It is as petty as I'm making it out. It is. It's every bit that petty. So listen, don't really put a whole bunch of Don't put a whole bunch of anything behind any statements made by Charlie Crist or Jim Greer. Just don't. I'm serious. Just don't. Just don't. All right, listen. This is the kind of stuff we cover on the show all the time. This is the kind of stuff we cover on the show all the time. And what we really need you to do is go to the WillAustinShow.com website right now. right this very minute, and click the donate button at the top of the page. I know it says PayPal, but you don't have to have PayPal. You don't. You can use your regular debit card, and that's the best way. And folks who want to send me checks, I understand that, but the quickest way is to use your debit card or your credit card, and make that happen for us today. That's the deal. We need for it to happen today. We need $400. That's 16 people at $25. And here's what else you can do. If you say, Willie, I'll pitch in $25. Do me a favor. Do me a huge solid. Get a friend of yours to do the very same thing. If we can have 8 people do that, we're done. 8 people do that, you're done. We're done. We're cool. And that's just 8 people decide, I'm going to get one of my friends to do it. Or I'm going to get my spouse to do it. I'm going to get my son or my daughter to do it. Because, here's the deal. If you like it, they like it. I mean, for the most part, if you like something, you know what, your friends and family like it too. So, listen, we're going to take a little break. We'll let you get an opportunity to do that. Go to the WillieLawsonShow.com website and click the donate button at the top of the page. And that's IE because nobody black spells her name with a Y. So if you go to www.WillieLawsonShow.com, click the donate button at the top of the page, I'd really appreciate it. We'll be right back right after this. All right. We are back. Thank you for coming to the Will Lawson Show here on Spreaker.com. Again, thank you again. Again, fantastic time. We're really enjoying our time here on Spreaker. I really am. It's just the coolest thing ever. I like the Spreaker console. I do. I wish we could take calls from it. Other people have figured that out. I think they use Skype in conjunction with it, and I think they're able to hear the calls through Skype. Maybe we'll try that out. Something else we want to do while we're at the Republican National Committee Convention in Tampa on the last week of August, what we want to do is also we want to simulcast, not just on Blog Talk Radio, which will be our main vehicle. We want to pull the Spreaker sidecar right along and simulcast here on Spreaker. We've talked to some of the Spreaker folks, and they seem to be down with it. I'm going to allow us some time to go ahead and do that. The show's going to be on for 2 hours, so I think we're going to be able to do that if we have enough computer resources. And that's the thing that we're really looking at. Are we going to have enough computer resources? So, after getting the spot paid for, and you know what? And I need to go back. I need to go back and tell you. You know what? People keep asking me, why are you asking for money to cover an event? Is it for transportation? No, it's not actually for transportation or housing. I don't know if you're aware, but in conventions like this, the press, especially if you'll be broadcasting from there, like from a stand, or you'll be broadcasting from Radio Row and these kind of things, it costs money to do, actually. And why? Because it keeps the riffraff out. I guess it's and what it has done traditionally is keep independent media out, because independent media normally can't afford it. But when we got hooked up with to Talk Radio News Service folks, through the grace of God and some work from some of the folks at the House TV and Radio office, and we've got a deal. So that's what the money is. The money is that, and it's going to be about $800. We're about halfway there, and today we need your help. That's all. I mean, we just need your help today. $400. We have $400 to go, and that at least pays for our position. It doesn't give us it doesn't increase our resources, and I mean our resources. I mean computer resources in order to be able to simulcast, and we really want to be able to simulcast. We want to be able to do Ustream TV and Spreaker at least that much. If we can do that all at the same time, you know what? It gives people a whole bunch of ways to listen in, and maybe even to watch. As we interview folks and as we do our thing on Radio Row at the Republican National Convention here in Tampa, Florida, from the 27th through the 30th. Again, and we don't have major sponsors. I've got one business sponsor that's sponsored for $100, for $100, and I love her. She's Christine at Bloomingdale's Florist. Excuse me, Bloomingdale's Flower Shop. No, you want to screw that up. Bloomingdale's Flower Shop. Here in Tampa. That's Bloomingdale's Flower Shop. Bloomingdale's Flower Shop. Bloomingdale's Flower Shop. You don't want to screw that. You don't want to screw that up. And I appreciate her greatly. She's always been a supporter of the show, and I appreciate her. She's gone through some really hard times with the business, as you can probably imagine. But you know what? She's coming out on the other side smelling like a rose. Yes, indeed. So we love Christine and the folks at Bloomingdale's Flower Shop. So, but that's it. We don't have any major sponsors. We don't have any major sponsors. We don't have any other companies in the area. We didn't have any sponsors. The only other sponsorship we have is from individuals. And I'll tell you what, and I will tell you what, I am proud and honored to say that some of our sponsors or our contributors are the past and present head of the local party. I appreciate them. You know what? And some of the leadership in the party. I appreciate that. I appreciate my friend Patrick from San Francisco, whom I've never met. We've never talked, and Patrick has been a stalwart supporter. Mark pitched in, 2 days ago. So I mean, there's been other folks that have been leadership in this area that have pitched in, and I appreciate it. But you know what? Now we need your help. If you've never done it, if you've never contributed to the Will Lawson Show, we need your help today. That's all there is to it. And you know what? Yes, I've been begging for. I don't know, I've been begging for 28 minutes. But you know what? I believe that what we're doing here is worth it. I believe what we're doing here is worthy of your support. You know what? You can go to the Blog Talk Radio site and you can listen to the shows that we've done since the last week in March of 2008. You know what? And you can hear some of the archive shows on my website of the shows that the 22 weeks of shows we did on WGOL here in town. You can go to YouTube and see the videos that were recorded of my appearances at some of the Tea Party rallies and the Juneteenth celebration that we put on. You know what? So you can find out who I am and what I'm about, and how important I believe this is to us. You know, the time that we spent on the Don't Go movement and the time we spent on Hitting Right Radio. You know what? And it's just so important. We really need your help. We only got about a minute. I need you to go to the WillieLawsonShow.com website and click the donate button at the top of the page. WillieLawsonShow.com and click the donate button at the top of the page. We need 16 people to do $25. We need 16. That's it. 16 people to do $25. And if we had 8 people who would tell a friend, that'll do it. We only need 8 people to get it started. That's it. Or 4 people that'll tell a couple of friends. There you go. 4 people that will tell a couple of friends. That's all we need. All right, folks. Thank you ever so much for coming to the Will Lawson Show here on Spreaker.com. And we appreciate what you're doing, and you appreciate your help. Listen, just like always, go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, take care of yourselves. We'll see you when we see you.